What's big, bold, and instantly recognizable even 50 years later? The answer: the 1969 Dodge Charger. A muscle car so iconic, it practically defined an era. You've seen it on posters, in movies, and blasting across TV screens in dusty high-speed chases. But the real story of the 69 Charger is even more interesting than what Hollywood shows. It wasn't just about looks or power, it was about attitude. This car captured the raw energy of late-60s American car culture. But why did it make such a huge impact? What made the 69 model stand out even among other Chargers? Was it the design, the engine options, the pop culture fame? Today, we're breaking it all down. Get ready to meet the muscle car that became a legend. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of classic muscle cars, this one's a must-watch. Today we're diving deep into the 1969 Dodge Charger, a car that left tire marks not just on roads, but in history. We'll explore how it was built, what made it special, and why it still gets hearts racing today. You'll learn about its performance, its design, its role in racing, and yes, even its Hollywood fame. Whether you're a lifelong Mopar fan or just curious about this iconic car, we've got you covered. We'll take you from the showroom floor to the drag strip and everywhere in between. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's roll. Because this isn't just a car, it's a piece of muscle car royalty. Let's go back to 1969 and see what made the Charger roar. Before we focus on 1969, let's quickly rewind. The Dodge Charger debuted in 1966 as Dodge's entry into the muscle car wars. The first generation was sleek and different, but sales were modest. In 1968, Dodge hit the jackpot with a full redesign that became an instant hit. That fastback, roofline, hidden headlights, and aggressive grille made it look like a street fighter. Sales skyrocketed, and Dodge knew they had to keep the momentum going. That's where the 1969 Charger came in, a refined version of the 68 with a few key upgrades. It got a new grille divided by a chrome center bar and revised taillights. Little changes, big impact. The car looked meaner and more sculpted. It kept the muscle but added polish. The 69 model would go on to become the most famous Charger of them all. Let's talk about the look, because style was everything in the muscle car era. The 69 Charger had curves in all the right places: wide haunches, long hood, and short rear deck. It looked fast even when parked. The hidden headlights gave it a sneaky, intimidating front end. The rear featured full-width taillights and a clean, flowing design. Inside, it was no luxury cruiser, but it had style and space. You could option it with bucket seats, wood grain trim, and sporty gauges. Dodge offered bold colors like plum, crazy, Hemi orange, and B5 blue. Plus, those signature bumblebee tail stripes added just the right amount of flair. The Charger didn't just scream power, it whispered cool. It was the kind of car you dreamed about driving down Main Street. Under the hood is where things got really exciting. The 69 Charger had a buffet of engine choices to suit every kind of driver. Base models came with a 225 slant 6, but let's be honest, that's not why we're here. Step up, and you got the 318 V8, 383 Magnum, or 440 Magnum. But the top dog, the legendary 426 Hemi, a racing-bred monster with 425 horsepower. This engine was expensive and rare, but brutally fast. Chargers with a Hemi were drag strip demons that could hit 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. Even the 446 pack with 3 two-barrel carbs was a street weapon. Transmissions included 3 and 4-speed manuals or a heavy-duty torque flight automatic. And with beefy suspension and rear-wheel drive, it handled better than people expected. It wasn't just loud, it was legit. Now here's where things get wild. Enter the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. This wasn't just another Charger, it was a homologation special built for NASCAR. It had a huge rear wing, pointed nose cone, and aerodynamic upgrades that made it look like a spaceship. Only 503 were built, so Dodge could qualify it for racing. On the track, it dominated, becoming the first NASCAR car to break 200 miles per hour. The Daytona was all business, built to win, not to cruise. It came with either the 440 Magnum or the 426 Hemi. Collectors today go wild for these cars, with some fetching 7 figures. Back in the day, people thought they looked strange, but now they're muscle car legends. The Daytona proved Dodge wasn't playing around. It took the Charger to a whole new level. If there's one reason the 69 Charger is burned into pop culture, it's the Dukes of Hazzard. Yep, The General Lee, the bright orange Charger that flew over rivers and outran the law. Even if you've never seen the show, you've probably seen that car jump. The show made the Charger famous worldwide and boosted its status among muscle car fans. Sadly, over 300 Chargers were destroyed filming those stunts, most of them 69s. It was the price of becoming a TV icon. The General Lee turned the Charger into a symbol of rebellion and fun, and it introduced a whole new generation to muscle cars. It's also appeared in movies like Fast and Furious, always as a symbol of raw American power. The 69 Charger didn't just make an impact on the road, it made one on the screen, and that helped turn it into a legend. The Charger wasn't just a pretty face, it had real performance chops. In NASCAR, it earned respect with drivers like Buddy Baker and Bobby Isaac behind the wheel. The Daytona version crushed the competition in 1969 and 1970, forcing other teams to rethink aerodynamics. On the street, it was a common sight at drag strips and car meets. Its big engines and rear drive layout made it a burnout machine. Guys were building them up with headers, slicks, and nitrous for weekend races. It had the balance of muscle and size, perfect for both showing off and throwing down. And unlike some cars, the Charger looked as good dirty as it did clean. People feared it at stoplights and respected it at the track. It was the kind of car you could race on Saturday and cruise on Sunday. And that dual personality made it even cooler. But like all legends, the Charger's reign didn't last forever. By the mid-70s, emissions rules, insurance costs, and the oil crisis killed the muscle car market. Dodge tried to keep the Charger name alive, but it became more of a personal luxury coupe. The raw muscle was gone, but something funny happened. People never stopped loving the 69 model. Even as newer cars came and went, the 69 Charger stayed in style. Collectors began snapping them up. Restorers brought junkyard Chargers back to life. Car clubs kept the community strong, and fans kept telling stories of the days when the Charger ruled the roads. That's the mark of a true classic. So why does the 1969 Dodge Charger still matter today? Because it represents more than just horsepower. It captures a moment in time. A time when American cars were wild, unapologetic, and full of character. The 69 Charger is art on wheels, powered by thunder. It's not just about speed, it's about presence. And even with today's high-tech sports cars, few can match the Charger's raw impact. It inspired generations of builders, racers, and dreamers. It's one of those cars that makes you turn your head every single time. Whether it's sitting still or roaring down the road, it demands respect. And it reminds us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. The 69 Charger is more than metal, it's a muscle car soul. So there you have it, the full story of the 1969 Dodge Charger. A car born in the muscle car golden age, built to thrill and remembered as a legend. From the street to the screen, from drag strips to NASCAR, it left a mark no one could ignore. It had the looks, the power, and the attitude to back it all up. And while it's now a rare collector's item, its legacy is alive and well. We hope you enjoyed this ride through Charger history. Which version is your favorite? The standard 69, the Hemi, or the wild Daytona? Drop your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more classic car stories coming soon. Thanks for watching. And remember, the Charger doesn't just drive, it dominates.